So good morning, everybody. And the Tanya for today is as follows. So today is the fourth chapter of Likutei Amarim. And the first chapter tells us that every Jew has two souls, right? A part of God and an animal soul, instincts. The second chapter tells us that the second soul is always connected to God, especially when you connect to the Rebbe of the generation, because his soul comes directly from God, and we're all offshoots of his soul. Every generation has one source soul. So we're connecting literally back to our source, connecting to the Shekhinah, we're connecting to Hashem. So that's why it's so important to be connected to the Rebbe, because that's how the soul is getting energy. Your life force is literally coming from the Rebbe in every generation. All the flow of energy for the entire world actually comes through the soul of the Rebbe of the generation. So this is a very, very big thing. Then the third chapter, the Alter Rebbe discusses that the second soul has love and fear of Hashem, and it has intellectual appreciation of the greatness of Hashem that creates this love and fear. And he says, how do we motivate this love and fear? By focus. It's the whole idea of davening, to focus on Hashem for an hour. You get connected, then you raise your frequency, your connection to Hashem. The fourth chapter, the Alter Rebbe says, now this soul also has three powers. So, Yishai, what are the three things that you use for your whole life? We call them garments. What are no, there are things that you use kind of in your body, and you're always using them all the time. One of them is in your brain, your thoughts. You're thinking all the time, right? And just like your soul is alive, it's always alive, that's why you're always thinking, because your soul is directly connected to your thoughts. So that's why your thinking is one of the most important, probably the most important thing that you have. And that's why it's very important to think. And the second thing is your speaking, right? you speak a lot, right? What's the first thing again? Thinking. Your thought process, that's where, yeah. The second thing is speaking, right? You speak. Now, speaking is not as connected to your soul. That's why sometimes you speak, sometimes you don't speak. And the third thing is your actions. Give me an example of an action. Huh?
Action?
Yeah. Tzedakah, right? So you take a coin and you put it in tzedakah, and so that's an action. So you think, speak, and act, and everything you're going to do in your life is going to be in these three garments. So now, what's making you think, speak, and act? If you think about something, why are you thinking about that? Because you want to. So it's your love for something or your fear of something that makes you think about it. Love makes you think, how can I get it? And fear makes you think, how can I not get it? Right? So now we have to understand, what is the love of the godly soul? What does the godly soul love?
Hashem.
Hashem, that's right. So it thinks, how can I get Hashem? Now, how can you get Hashem in this world?
How can you get Hashem in this world?
Yeah.
Davening,
right? You can do things that Hashem wants, right? So if you have two people and one person says, do me a favor, pass me a cup of Coke or something, and you pass him the cup, you can create a connection. So we have, what is the mind things that you can do that get Hashem? What are things that you can do in your mind and your thoughts that get Hashem? You could learn Torah, it's like a thought, right? You can think about davening. And then what are the speech things that you can do that gets Hashem?
Yeah.
Also Torah, right? Also to feel a thought and speech, good. What are the action things that you can do that gets Hashem? Mitzvot, there you go. So how does this soul express itself in thought, speech, and action?
Through free stuff?
Yeah, through learning and davening and through mitzvot. And so when we do these things, this soul gets happy because it gets connected to Hashem. And if, God forbid, we're not doing these things, the soul gets sad because it feels, I'm disconnected. L'chaim v'levracha.